Hello and welcome to Tribal Council Survivor. We had another episode last night. I'm joined as always by Christy and JP from New Jersey.
It's pretty JP.
Pretty. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even see that. Pretty JP. I was looking at my name. Luckily, I've changed it because my name's not always Crazy Hank TV. Sometimes it's something different when I'm recording the Ramblecast.
You wear many hats. That's true.
Well, it's something that it's probably not family-friendly name. So
I see you're wearing your Survivor Day hat.
Yeah, that's what it is. Survivor Day. Yes, pretty JP. Yes, pretty boy JP. Pretty face JP.
He's smart too.
Yeah. So, what did you guys think of this episode?
Well, I'm glad Karishma and her husband worked it out.
Oh, she was really selling that, right?
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Do you think that's what she's doing? Like consciously in her head, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I have to say so many nice things."
I don't know. Because I think that I watched her Ponderosa video, and she's just not to me a very interesting person. I mean, I feel for her. She said that basically she's glad she did it, but this wasn't her thing. And at least she's honest. I mean, she was miserable, she said, from day one. She just was unhappy from day one. And to go 32 days, I mean, she, like I said, like I think you said, Christy, last week, if she would have worked with Elizabeth, they could have got rid of Tommy or Dan. She could still, and if they just would have stuck to the plan, we'll get to it later on, they just would have stuck to the plan.
Right.
She's probably still there.
So is that one of those situations where you want to be on the show, you apply, but you don't do all the mental pre-work that you need to do to get yourself set to go? It can't be a surprise for her what it's like there.
It can't be at this point. I can see the first couple seasons, when people are saying, "Oh my God, I didn't realize it'd be this hard." I don't know what people are thinking when they go to this, where you're not going to be getting sleep. You're not going to be eating normally. You're going to be with people you might not like.
There's rats.
Yeah, there's rats, there's bugs, and she didn't like that. Yeah. Maybe she wanted, because maybe that one time where we talked about, you mentioned earlier about her with her husband. Maybe she wasn't happy at home. Maybe she wanted some kind of adventure. Maybe this opened up her eyes. Okay, my home life isn't that bad. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to maybe have her on and ask her that, because you wonder why people, because at least she didn't quit. I give her that. I hate the people that go on there and quit. She stuck it out, but to say, at least, like I said, at least she was honest during her, Ponderosa video saying.
I really wonder why. Okay, so you have to have a little self-awareness about yourself and have some sort of social strategy before you go out there to know not to tick people off and not rub them the wrong way. Don't be lazy around camp. You help out. That doesn't mean you have to help out, do everything to the point that you're getting angry at people like Nora was right on. But you gotta find that middle sweet spot on kind of everything, don't you?
Yeah, I agree. She wasn't, what we saw, she wasn't helpful around camp. Mm-hmm. And that just, to me, I know I was talking to Colleen, was saying that, Nora was kind of rude to her. I said, I probably would keep it in check because I want to win. But Nora's personality is someone who's just going to tell it like it is. And if you're not doing anything and I'm doing everything, I'm going to be upset.
Also, I think she also just probably mentally checked out at some point. I mean, yeah, of course you want to win this game, but I think she realized she probably didn't have a chance to win and was just, whatever the bare minimum was to survive, that's all that she was really giving.
Well, not having a chance to win is on her.
Right.
Well, yes, right.
She said, oh, go ahead.
I think she was hoping weeks and weeks and weeks ago that she was going to get voted out. So, I mean, Jane was also, but she was like, come on.
Yeah, you're probably right, because she said she was happy it was over.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't know if you can, how you have 32 days to be happy it's over. At that point, I want to make it at least to the end.
Oh, she's still going to get some cash, ain't she?
Oh, she'll get something, but again, can't imagine being a lot for all the suffering. She said she hadn't felt love, so they gave her a pretty good welcoming. The people that were voted off, they really. So it was nice to see that she, because she felt she had no connection with anybody, and they were really warm to her.
But
Excuse
she
me.
was doing that from like the first week or so that they were out there. She was like, I'm on the outs, I'm not in. And they were like, Karishma, we like you. But like,
Yeah.
how much do you have to reinforce that with people? Like, there's only so much you can do.
Well, that was the whole where she cut her finger off. And,
Right? They're gonna let me die. Nobody even came to check on me. I didn't ask for help. They should have known.
But anyway, speaking of the loved ones visit, it's not, again, I think we've talked about, not my favorite part of Survivor. I mean, I know people say you have no heart. It just, to me, I get it. You know, you got to give them something out there. And I know a lot of people love it and it's fun, but to me, it takes up a lot of the episode. But it did probably set the tone for the episode.
Well, they went when the show started and it went straight to the challenge.
Yeah.
Right.
There was no like back from tribal last week's episode like they usually cut it that way. It was like straight to the thing, and right away I went, some stuff's gonna happen tonight. They're trying to cut out all the extra stuff.
Yeah, this was probably one of my more standout family episodes, where it always feels like whenever they do the the visitation episode, it always just feels like
they're not in prison.
Well, no, it's not a conjugal visitation. Whenever when the family shows up episode,
yeah,
it always feels like that episode.
Loved one visit, I think is what they call it.
Yes.
The loved one visit. Okay.
Yeah,
I like conjugal. So it just always feels like that episode goes through the motions of being a Survivor episode. Where this one, I mean, I know we'll get to it eventually, but everything that transpired at the end, wow.
It was ugly. And
Wow.
it was, but I do like when Lauren,
Talking about
when Lauren's, it was her husband or her husband came out, right? Or boyfriend, husband. Either way, his name is Matt. I like Jeff. Lauren, why Matt? I said, well, that was awkward. I mean, why?
I don't know. Is Jeff giving her another offer or what? I don't know. Weird.
But I said, well, I wonder why your talk show didn't work. Anyway, it just seemed awkward. I don't know. It just cracked me up. I said, why Matt? You're better than he is. Find someone else.
I mean, I get it. He's trying to pull these heartfelt things out of them. Say something nice about your husband, but he says it in a way that seems kind of, what? I mean, who are you?
Anyway, I like it was a tough challenge, but I like how they're going where Nora falls down. Instead of Dan waiting for her to get back up, he just starts dragging her. And Jeff goes, Nora should be running and she's swimming. Well, no, she literally is being dragged. That was on Dan, I thought.
He really wanted to spend some time with his son, I guess.
I mean, I get it, but your partner falls down, you let them get back up.
Well, Dan shouldn't be running around picking her up and holding her. And
that's true. He probably didn't want to be a hands-on guy there. And
right, he's super aware of that.
He's sticking with his stay 5 feet away from everybody.
But and in throwing the beanbag, they were throwing it you have to throw it like higher because
it was crazy how everybody ended up there, all of them throwing their beanbag, and no one could land it for the longest time.
Right.
It was really excruciating. Right.
Well, because they were throwing it you need to put a little arc on it. It has to be, because what they're doing, had too much, too much momentum going forward and was rolling off. And I think it was at Tommy and Janet one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They win reward. And then again, I've always said, throw the reward, throw the family, because it's just going to bring back, it's going to get people mad at you. But I guess it's hard when you get two survivors teamed up. You can't really go, hey, we should throw this. Right. Unless they're in your alliance.
Is that the first time they've had them team up like that before?
I thought so, but Colleen said no.
It's not. It's unusual. It's not.
It's unusual, but it's smart because, again, I would if it was just me, I'd say, sorry, honey, I'll see you I stink anyway. I'll see you in a week.
Well, you would have probably had that already worked out before you even went out there.
Oh yeah, I'm going to throw it because I'm not putting a target on my because
if you get picked by the people who win, that's a good scenario.
that's okay.
The one picking.
No, because if you you saw last night, it was like first Karishma, and then what did Karishma say? We're going to put a wrecking ball to their heads. I'm like, okay, it's like that's ugly.
I was waiting for Nora to say something. Let me ask one question about the when the couples all reunite. Okay, I've never been in like a serious long-term relationship where little things don't bother me. But can you like run up to your partner that close that they haven't brushed their teeth for 32 days and kiss on the lips? I mean, I've dated and I've had girls sleep over, and my rule is I got to go brush my teeth first.
Yeah, I know they stink. So
if it were me, I think if it were me on the island, I would feel self-conscious. But I think if I was going to visit my loved one, I don't think I would care.
Because Cindy goes, yeah, I wouldn't kiss you, I wouldn't hug you because
really?
You're gonna smell. Yeah, she said you stink. Because she asked Rob Cesternino that. He goes, what about the smell? She goes, well, because we all smell, it's no big deal. So if everyone stinks, you don't notice it. But if 32 days.
I could not go and give them a hug though.
No deodorant, nothing.
Maybe what you do is you do like those CSI investigators. You get a little Vicks, put it on your nose.
It's like a crime scene. I know Cindy. When we first moved to Raleigh, she was out here, I think 30 days by herself. It was a long time. So it was emotional when you get together. But I had bathed before I got on this. Before I got on the plane.
She still would have hugged you, wouldn't she have?
No, probably not. No.
No,
I'm kidding.
I don't know. I always think that like, oh my gosh, they haven't brushed their teeth. They haven't, but yeah, all they want is they need someone to love them a little bit after being out there. So I don't think if I was the person coming to visit, I don't think I could reject them or not give them what they need. But
Cindy watches Deadwood and go, oh my God, how do they do that? Because they're so dirty. And anyways,
can you imagine living like that? No.
But I think if you're used to it, you wouldn't know, right?
Sure.
I just
life.
When they were introducing everybody, everybody was there with a partner, some sort of partner. And I just figure, you look beyond stuff like that. But I was expecting like when Dan's son ran out, I was expecting him to like go in for the hug and do one of the quick turns.
Ew, Dad, the kids are always very honest.
Ew, Dad, you're creeping me out.
My Kelly said, Dad, you see that? She said she'd hug me. Thanks, Cal. I love you too.
She's saying that, but I want half of your winnings.
Her and I have a lot of sneaky plans for Survivor and Big Brother, or we have. We might have to hang them up, but
what about going on The Amazing Race?
Oh my God, I'm such a good navigator. If I could get somebody to do all the hard challenges, I could get us around the whole. Yeah, I could do that. I'm not even afraid of heights. I could do that too.
I could drive stick.
I just can't. I have no endurance. So, but I can. Yeah, I can drive a stick. I can too. I can read a map. I can speak other languages. I got this. Let's go.
Yeah, Cindy always wanted to do it together because we watch it, and I said, we'd end up with a divorce. I'd come across looking like the biggest a-hole in the thing because we're both competitive, but I'm like, let's go. Now I have a good excuse. I'm injured, so I couldn't run. I couldn't do a lot of those things now. So it's my out saying, well, we can't do that because but I'd be that one guy that everybody hates. I'd be the villain because I'd look like the guy that's, yelling at his wife, let's go, pick it up, let's go.
Well, I mean, if you just have to go out there knowing you're going to have fun, put the competition aside, go out there, you're going to have a good time with your partner, do as best you can. And I don't know, maybe take a little Mentos with you. I don't know.
Maybe if I'm
chill out.
Well, maybe we go to Amsterdam, right? Let's
right,
there.
Exactly.
But no, because I'm competitive. So when I get into competitive situation, it's like I always said, like a Survivor. If I'm playing hockey against someone or a sport, if you got your head down, you can be my best friend. I'm going to take you out. I don't care because when I'm playing against you, you're not my friend. But once the game's over, I'll have a beer with you. But yeah, I definitely would have came across. I said, no, I don't think that would work.
Did anyone feel sad for Dan's son a little bad for him?
Well, he doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, he doesn't know. But right now,
Today I do.
in this day, in yesterday day,
Yeah.
everyone knows. And
Well, we don't know how Dan explained it to him though, too.
No, well, I wasn't, and that's probably fine. I was thinking he's at school and people are like, "Oh, your dad was on Amazing Race. We saw him." That's not my dad. What are you talking about? Once you're on the show with the guy and they're saying this is your dad, you can't say that's not my dad.
The youngest person ever on Survivor.
That's true. That's true. Good for him.
Kelly said, "I felt sad for Krishna's husband." He was saying it's a different person. That she was different. So maybe again, that going out for that experience is going to help her marriage.
Maybe the wrong.
You know
person.
what?
No.
If that's the positivity she gets out of it, then good for her.
Yeah, because they always say that you should not. They always say, "I'm not here just to win. I'm here for the experience. I'm here to learn something about myself," which I guess maybe she did.
Maybe she did.
I mean, I'd be there to win it. That's just me.
Let's be honest here, right?
I'm being honest. I know enough about myself. I'm 56. Well, I'm 57. How old am I? 57. So yeah, I've learned it. I know enough about myself, other than my age.
Old enough to know better, and also old enough not to care.
Yeah, exactly. You get to the point where you just get off my lawn. They do the reward. They're talking strategy. I forget who it was saying. I'm sorry. Was it Janet saying, "I'm sorry, loved ones, but we're going to talk strategy right now"? Someone said it.
That sounds like a Janet thing.
Janet or Lauren.
But I like Dan. He calls the 4 people who didn't make it the group of losers. I go, God, Dan, you have no filter, Dan. You just. He's come across even take the touching stuff out. He just comes across as a jerk.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
They hardly show him, though, honestly. They don't ever really show him talking. When was the last time you saw a Dan confessional? Does he really get them?
No, I guess you're right. You don't.
I don't think we see him like we see that one thing. I think they're doing that on purpose.
The camera crew isn't comfortable alone with him.
Yeah. Well, then we go back to the other side, and Nora is a little upset. And Nora, I remember I said she has a chance to win this. I'm screaming at the TV. Nora, it's 7 days. Calm down. 7. You can't let people show that you're angry about something, because now you're playing the game on your emotions, and you got to, especially with the final stretch, you have to play with your head.
Well, she wasn't wrong. Her assessment was absolutely positively true. I mean,
Right.
she's right. But that's where she needed to really go. She was handed that information. If this hadn't happened, she might not have known where she sat with the rest of them, right?
Right.
So she has the information.
Bottom, right.
And now she has the opportunity, if she's smart, that these 3 people are there, also didn't get picked. And, create something, change your situation. Don't complain about it, right? And
But even Elaine says, Elaine, you're not even making sense at this point. You're talking about, she says, I'm getting to that point.
I think the opportunity that they missed, though, with this editing is they should have thrown in like that little clock that you see when they're doing an endurance challenge. 25 minutes.
the duration of time that she'd been complaining.
Exactly.
Because you
Hour
see,
3 of Nora rant.
Dean had checked out. He was like, okay, I'm done.
That cutaway shot where the sun goes down and then comes back up.
But there was some they said, we need to go find an idol because it's 4-4. We just pick one person to vote for.
They should have jumped on that immediately because there's people now missing from the camp.
But once they went out and got the idol,
Right.
Elaine found it because, of course, Nora said, just think blue, 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 blue. And that got Elaine the idol.
It worked.
It worked. But at this point, I'm thinking, I know they won't do it, but all 4 of them are on the bottom. They are. Elaine, Janet. Well, it wasn't Janet, was it? It wasn't Janet. It was
Elaine, Krishna.
And Dean.
Krishma. I said Janet. It's Krishma. And Dean, all 4 of them are on the bottom.
Right.
It's clear. I mean, Dean's been on the bottom with both tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Krishma, people have been trying to vote her out for weeks. Elaine, they don't want to go against her because she's too nice. And Nora is obviously she realized today that she didn't get picked. That she's, like you said, she's on the bottom. Why wouldn't they just stick together?
She is 5 out of 5, and she knows it. She has an opportunity to better her position and be, at worst case, 4 out of 4.
Right.
Right. But given her physical ability, she might not be 4 out of 4. She could be 3 out of 4 or 2.
Right.
Now you can get rid of those. Now you're in a top 3 situation. How do you not go for that?
And you also, in that group of 4, you've got one person that in pretty much every challenge you can beat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. She'd be at least top 3 of a 4-person alliance. So top 3, that's all you need to get to the finals.
Her toughest competitor in the challenges is Elaine.
Yeah.
Dean's terrible in the challenges. He never, and like you said, pretty JP, that Karishma is terrible in the challenges. Yeah. So to me, I was like going, perfect plan. The bottom 4 take control of the game. You vote Dan out or you vote Tommy out. Now it's 4-3.
And this was Nora's chance to make a big move.
Yeah. Plus, not only that, you have the 2 toughest competitors, Elaine and Nora, in your alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'm sure we'll get to it, but they even still, the 3 of them still had an opportunity with Elaine's idol.
Yeah.
To save one of their own and get rid of somebody else on that side.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point you have to try to change the fate to your side.
Right.
You don't want to do it.
Well, then I wonder if Dean flipped, because when he was talking to Nora, and he doesn't like Nora. He calls her crazy all the time, but he's trying to explain to her, and she's trying to come up with these different scenarios. He goes, no, it's still 1. It doesn't matter. Just vote. We got it. Just vote this way. She was
so stressed, huh?
Yeah. And she just was like, and I think at that point, he's like, he probably thought I don't know. He couldn't work with her anyway. But to be honest with Dean, he should have kept Nora and Karishma.
For sure.
I don't think he can win the game.
Have we really seen any great romance between him and Tommy?
No.
Yeah.
Why would you keep Tommy?
Tommy is not his dude. He's not going to the end with them. And when Tommy has Lauren, how are you trying to get in there in with him and Lauren? Right?
Well, I know he's been I want to have someone, a shield. But at this point, you're down to 8 people. You need to start getting rid of people that you can't beat. He can't beat Tommy. He can't beat Lauren. He can't beat Elaine. He can't beat. I don't think he could beat Dan if Dan made it to the finals. Because I just don't think he could beat him unless the jury's been hearing everything that Kelly's been saying.
She has to be talking.
She's got to be so he can beat Dan, but there's a lot of people on there he can't beat. I don't even think he could beat Nora.
No, I don't think he could beat Nora. I think her resumes, even though she's crazy, or they keep calling her. I didn't call her crazy. They keep calling her crazy. I think her resume is better because she's won more things. Dean hasn't really done anything, and he hasn't been really loyal. He flips all the time on people, and I don't think that's winning him any points.
I think regardless of which side you were playing on in this episode, just getting rid of Karishma for both sides was just, it was a dumb move.
But that was Dan's idea. Everyone's going to want to take her to the end if we don't get rid of her now.
Right.
Well, that's where I think Dan is controlling the game.
Right.
I think he's he can't beat anyone. I just read the chat. Yeah. But I think when Dan said, he goes, well, we don't want her because she's a goat and everyone's going to want to take her as her final 3.
Hello. The majority of you guys are goats now.
So that should be a red flag to anyone on Dan's side. Oh, he's already thinking that he's going to, who his final 3 are going to be.
Right.
So these people they're just not thinking. He's just like a puppet master. He's controlling them. Because I'm like the whole time I go, why are we voting off Karishma? She cannot win. I didn't even think she'd beat Dan. No. I mean, Dean. I got my D's mixed up. But anyway, we go to the immunity challenge, and Janet almost dies. I like her. She took a tumble.
Toenail off? Is that what it was? It was like the toenail just ripped right off.
Is that what she did? She ripped her toenail off?
What did it look like?
Oh, like I'm glad I didn't see
like
that.
when she fell, she must have caught it or something. And
I'm glad I was.
She didn't even care. Rub some sand in it. She's good to go.
I'm glad I was taking notes at that time. I didn't see it. Oh
Yeah, I was pretty good, but
oh my gosh.
they were like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "Yeah." My kids were like, "Oh my gosh!" I said, "Don't worry, they're gonna get medical. They're gonna put some Neosporin on. They're gonna wrap it up. It's gonna be fine."
Because I was joking on the other podcast. I said, you had Division I last year. Every time she fell, it was like she almost, it was like she laid there for 3 hours. You got Janet, who's 60, and when you get older and you fall, it hurts more.
Sure,
it does. And give her. It was an awkward fall. I didn't realize she ripped her toenail off. Oh my god! I'm just screaming. That's
what it looked like. It looked like there was something. The top of her foot was there, and it looked like there was something poking out. So it had to be her toenail was like still like half on, half off.
I could live with a bone sticking out, but a toenail.
But you know what? You're right. The older you are, it hurts more when you fall, but it also hurts to stay down. You got to get up and start moving.
That's true. I give her credit for bounce. She bounced back up. I mean, credit to her. I mean, maybe
she's a rookie.
And she's one of those ones that no one even, her name never came up. Do you remember when everyone was like, we got to get rid of Janet because everyone likes her?
Yeah.
They forgot about it. They forgot people like Janet over on the jury.
I don't know. Well, you got a couple people. You got Elaine and Janet who are very likable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Extremely likable.
If they got down to the two of them at the end, I don't know who I'd vote for. They're both awesome.
Is anyone, because Lauren is, I don't think Lauren's as likable. She's probably not hated. If you had the three of them, but other than that, is Tommy that likable?
I don't think he's disliked. He's just kind of.
Because I know Tommy said something. I thought I brought up in the thing.
Oh no, Kelly! I think it was her toenail.
Stop
it! Her skin scraping off. No,
just skin. Okay, that's no big deal. But he said when he was crying, he said, "I felt like one of my 4th grade girls." So I said, "Does he teach all girls?" And I think Colleen said, "No." I go, "Huh." So I go, you just can't say that anymore.
4th grade boys have no feelings.
Yeah. But, well, to be fair, most of us. Except when we're talking about toenails being ripped off. Sorry. I just said, I go, well, he's not in Dan's territory, but that was probably a dumb thing to say. But I haven't seen a lot of talk on the internet about it, so I'll let it go for now. It probably just a slip up.
But kudos to Jack for always noticing those things.
Because I pay attention, because I've said things in the past where I've gotten called out for it, and I said I got called out about a year ago because I called the Cowboys the Cowgirls because they lost, and someone took offense to that. I said, you know what? I didn't even think about that because everyone that hates the Cowboys, that's what they call them. I go, I won't say that again, and I haven't said it since. So
listen, you're the father of both boys and girls. You know who's tougher. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that's without question. Jay's still crying over the ET commercial.
It was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good.
I said it was an excellent commercial. I go, why are you crying?
Really good. Oh, I think I cried too. It really brought up a lot of feels. Sorry,
you guys are a bunch of girls. Oh, it slipped out. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So they all want to put their 4 votes on Karishma. I think Dan even said, "There's no way she got another idol." There's no way she got another idol. And then they want to put 3 votes. Then they're going 3 votes on Elaine, and they're going back and forth. Karishma wants all 4 votes on Tommy, which, all right, Karishma, you're making sense.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, Tommy's going to go home.
Yeah.
But
it would have worked if it weren't for Dean.
Yeah.
That sneaky weasel.
Yeah. They just put themselves back on the bottom, basically.
Right. No, he did it to him.
He did. Right.
He shot Karishma and shot Elaine in the foot and was like, ha, how you like me now?
You think he's just trying to get to the final 3 because it made zero. I mean, I know I wouldn't want to work with Nori either because she's all over the place. She's just.
Yes, but you work with her this little bit that you have to as you start to try to gain some sort of majority.
Right. Yeah, and again, you have to have especially when it gets down to, you're talking 7 people now,
yeah,
and you would have the majority, because your alliance should be smart enough not to vote you wouldn't want to vote anyone out in your alliance.
Right.
When it gets to 6 and you're 4-2, then you can start making some moves. Right. But I go, because Dean turns to, they're going to vote for you tonight.
Okay, but here's the thing. If he was so in Tommy's court, why wasn't he telling Tommy when they were back at camp? Why did he wait till they were sent? What happened that all of a sudden Dean got all freaked out and had to be like, hey, it's you?
I think maybe he did it intentionally.
I think he wanted to just call it out in front of everybody.
I think he wanted to blow it up.
Stupider, isn't it?
Well, again, I don't know what his strategy is. He can't beat Tommy. If Tommy's going home, I'm thinking, great, Tommy's going home. I can't beat him.
Right.
Next, I gotta work on getting Lauren and Elaine and Janet out. If I get Tommy out, then Janet's probably going to be next because she's on the other alliance.
Mm-hmm.
It really didn't accomplish anything other than just knocking somebody out from what is ever left of the alliance that he still had.
I mean,
someone out of the people who could have covered him.
Exactly.
I mean, it made Nora look bad, but Nora's already has that reputation.
But if he hadn't said anything, it wouldn't have made Nora look bad.
But no, I'm saying if his plan was, I'm gonna make Nora go crazy when I say this.
Oh,
but people already know that she's that way.
Don't you think it made him look bad though? How he turns on people and flips. Like I don't think he's very trustworthy at all.
No, and like I said, he's been on the bottom of every tribe he's been on. Right. And again, I'm thinking the whole time I go, I know they won't stick with this. I've said this like 10 times today, but that's the smart move. Get Tommy out.
Right.
Or Dan out. Boom. Or Janet out. Boom. You get one of those out. You have to start getting the people out you can't beat.
Well, and they went over to Krishna and said, vote for Nora. And she was like, okay. No.
Yeah.
No, you don't listen to them telling you who to vote for.
Right, because you're on the bottom. Why would you listen to them?
Exactly.
And if they had stayed and voted for Tommy, and Elaine would have played her idol for Karishma, they'd be sitting fine.
Right.
Elaine could have still played her idol for Karishma. Nora would have been gone, and they still would have been, somewhat fine.
Yeah. Well, they still have.
It's simply because you don't know, because Nora's.
Yeah, you don't know. Nora's in the middle again, 3-3, and then Nora's there. Yeah, you're right. They all would have lived to see another day.
Yeah, and but then you got Nora, who's just. I go, what are you doing, Nora? Just keep your mouth shut. Stick with like he said, stick with the plan.
She was so funny when she was like, Dean's laughing. Don't look at Dean. Don't look at Dean. He's trying to trick you with his good looks and
with his pretty face.
Pretty face.
Pretty face.
Pretty face. Oh my God, that was so funny.
But he's a liar. He is.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a manipulator. I don't know. But then Elaine did play her idol, pretty face Dean. I don't know. And Krishna goes home. And I like the best line of the night was from Boston Rob. All that talk just to vote out Karishma.
Just to vote out Karishma. And when Nora's like, Tommy, I need to talk to you right now. Like they start doing all of this stuff and you're like, oh, you're losing control. Just go back to your original plan. Just go back.
Plus Nora, she won't lie. Because did you say it? Well, you'd have to listen to it, but yeah, I did.
But why not explain to them why she was upset?
Yeah.
You guys picked each other and you did not take me.
Yeah.
And that really hurt. It hurt for me to feel like I was the 5th out of 5.
Right. And I'm thinking I'm on the bottom.
And when they say, we're sorry, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. She could have played it a little more honestly.
I mean, I know why Dan keeps her around even though Dan did vote for her, he wants her as his final 3. In the final 3, but I just like going, oh, what a.
No, I think Nora beats him though if he takes her.
I think he does too.
Yeah.
I think
would have wanted Karishma at the end, honestly.
Yeah, you voted Karishma out. We have 7 people left, and you voted Karishma out. At least there's 0 chance she could win.
Exactly.
0.
Jay must have been excited.
Yeah, he was because he got to pick a new person. But his options weren't too many because I have Lauren, and Colleen has Elaine. So I basically told him who to pick. I said, take Janet. I go, that's either Janet or Tommy. Because you pick Lauren and you pick.
That was the other smart argument to get Nora on their side, to say we have to break up Lauren and Tommy.
Right, and she agreed with it.
Right. So going back with that group and turning her back on the other three was not in her best game.
No.
Not.
I can't get her player of the week this week. I've really been trying to think all day who to give it to.
Me too.
Because I thought overall they all played a terrible game. I mean, I didn't understand the strategy at all. I mean, Elaine flipped too. They all panicked and said, and she played her idol, which I think was smart because she doesn't know at this point if she's a target.
Right.
But again, I don't know.
Yeah, this was a tough episode. I don't even. Oh my God! Can we skip MVP this week?
I know I'm thinking, because the other group, the four that got to go on the reward, those are the ones that pretty much they ruled this episode, right? Because the other people were scrambling around and couldn't pull it off. Okay, fine, whatever. So I'm gonna give it to Janet because she felt like a champ, even though she ripped her toenail off. There you go. I mean, that's the best I can get. I can do.
Let's see.
I'll give it to Dan's son for traveling that far by himself.
They're eating that food while they're talking game. He's just.
Well, I mean, I figure to get there, I mean, the kid had to find his way to the post office to get his passport. He had to call an Uber to get to, whatever airport he was.
Mom is done.
All the crap he took in school today from his friend.
Yeah.
You have to pick somebody that's in the game.
Oh.
And his mom's probably not. His mom's probably sick of his dad. I'm not helping you go see him.
That's why she didn't show up.
What did I did learn. What did I learn today? A redneck pocket.
So you're gonna pick Elaine?
Elaine for teaching me what a redneck pocket was.
What's a redneck pocket? Oh, which. Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't remember that. Yeah. That was good.
Trick where it just kept coming out and coming out and coming out.
Different. I'm going to pick Tommy just because he should have been gone and he's still there.
That's a good choice.
I mean, just mainly because he survived.
You know what I'm most amazed with Tommy? How he is not just freaking red like a lobster all the time.
Yeah.
Is that guy not like just one big giant blister
with that fair skin? Yeah. Well, you see his face sunburned. They must give him some sunscreen because
they're dipping him in it. Come on, yeah. Gingers are super fair.
They have to help.
I'm outside 10 minutes and I'm getting sunburned. So I don't even know how that guy's doing it.
He must be on sunscreen 500 or something like that.
You're turning a little red in front of the screen, actually.
Me? Yeah.
The bright light.
Yeah. So it is.
So at this point, if you had to pick who's going to win Survivor, who's going to be smart enough to get to you got 7 people left. Who's going to outwit of the 7 left? Who's the smartest player left?
I think your final 3 is Tommy, Nora, and Dan. And I think your winner. Oh my God.
Of those 3, I would pick Nora. But
yeah, out of those 3, I would say
it's been the most entertaining.
I think it's Nora first, Dan second, Tommy third, maybe even.
Really?
I understand what Dan did, but
I think the jury has been. Kelly have had to have talked to the people.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I can't imagine people that what they know now would vote for Dan. Because you got to be thinking too. You've been with Kelly for all this time, and she's telling you what actually happened and what had happened. So some of the people may not have known the truth. But she's probably been there telling them. Okay, I'm sure they've had the conversation. You don't. Okay, I looked like an idiot when I was like when I was backing him up and stuff like that. But if you're going to make a vote and say, yeah, after all that, I'm still going to vote for Dan, they're going to be smart enough to go, hey, I'm not making that mistake.
Well, Missy knows that it wasn't a lie because she was the one standing there while he was reaching over, touching her toes. And she was like,
Right.
stop touching me.
Yeah.
Or stop touching my toes, or don't do that, or whatever it was she said. So
Yeah.
you know that Kelly's not crazy.
Right. So it's going to, and Elizabeth, you know, she was joking about Dan doing stuff too. So I gotta think that this group is smart enough to go, okay, I can't put Dan's name down.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
I take that back.
My sister and I were just talking today. What happens with Dan if Dan ends up in the final three? Any final three? Does he get all of the time? Does he get time at Tribal? I mean, at the reunion show?
I don't.
They think they bring him, but they don't say anything. I mean,
I think
do you think they bring it up?
if
I
he's
think-
there, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that it would really make the fan base upset if he was there and they didn't bring it up. So I'm wondering if he doesn't make it to the top three, if they just ask him not to show up at all.
Well, they can tell him just not to show up.
They could. And my sister was like, oh, that'd be such a crap thing to do and I said, yeah, but that would be, CBS has kind of been off the mark on it. They thought that, they thought they'd handled it well. They would probably think this is the way to have the least amount of.
But you look at how the one guy who posted a picture on Instagram of him and another, what was it, last season or season before?
Yeah.
And he didn't get asked back. He was told, no, you can't show up to the finale. So something like that. Or something,
because I think the production would look at it as a distraction from the other players that were there for the reunion, when they or maybe not. They don't want it to be focused on just that,
right?
And so therefore, they ask, just don't come.
Like you said, Christy, they handled it poorly. They thought they did a great job with it. It was handled poorly,
but it's already been handled. That's from CBS's perspective. It's done.
Yeah, but it'll
now show it live. So they have a chance still to be scrambling, figuring out what they're going to do.
Yeah. So I personally don't think he should be invited.
I
just don't want him to get all the attention.
Yeah. I just think it's better to say, yeah, we decided that, when the facts came out, we decided that Dan was not going to be.
Or so he can play that thing where he tells Kelly, I am really sorry that I made you feel like that.
Yeah.
I still think he's going to be there. He's going to try to do something good to redeem himself. It might be I've said it before. He might make like a big donation to something. Obviously that doesn't take back what he did, and I can't see. I don't disagree with you. I don't think he should be there, but I can't see that happening.
We'll see.
We'll see that. But anyway, I think Lauren, she was my pick originally. I think she's the smartest player left. I think she was really good last week with the coming back for Rob and Sandra, and I think she's the smartest. She just has to be less emotional. But
if her and Tommy take each other, do you think she beats Tommy?
Yes. I think she's probably. Yeah. I think she's got a better resume, and Tommy, she's won a challenge, and she won immunity challenge, and I don't know. I think she just has probably more friends on the jury than Tommy.
I think from what we've seen, she should beat Tommy. You never know what they see with
right.
The other. But we've seen that whenever there's been decisions to be made, it's usually her. She's kind of more in the driver's seat than Tommy is.
Right.
Of that pairing. So I would hope it would be her over Tommy, but you never know.
It just depends on who they go with. But I think that Lauren, if she has the majority on her side now. I think if she makes it to final three, I think she wins.
Yeah.
I don't think it depends. Well, if she goes against Janet, that would be tough. She's got to get rid of, at one point, she's got to get rid of Janet before. I don't want to go to the finals with Janet or Elaine.
Right.
There's just no way, because I think they're both popular. And they both really, to be honest, have a good. Elaine has a really strong resume. Janet has one. She's 60 years old and been going toe to toe with everybody out there. So
I still think it's going to be final three. It'll be Tommy, Nora, and Lauren. I started saying that about 2 weeks ago. I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, I have no idea because from week to week, and I don't know. It's these. We've got a lot of unpredictable. Well, maybe it's Nora that's unpredictable, but then what Dean did, that was so weird. I think Dean, though, by orchestrating all that and getting Karishma out, I think he is now the new Karishma. He's the new GOAT that nobody really wants. He's not going to win. He's not going to win a challenge. He's not trustworthy. He's just, I don't know. Maybe they take him to the end.
Yeah. I mean, I like I said, I don't think he can beat anybody. Except maybe Dan. Because I don't see people voting for Dan. Unless Kelly didn't say anything, unless it didn't come up. But I can't imagine you're around these people 24 hours a day that someone didn't say, hey, what actually happened with you and Dan? I mean, it has to come up.
Well, do you consider the people who are at Ponderosa, would you consider them, even though they're eliminated from the game, are they still a part of the game to the point where if production had to sit down with everybody one by one, does that include the people who were at Ponderosa at that point?
Well, there weren't many people at Ponderosa at that point, were there?
Only Jack was there at that point, right?
Yeah, because Kelly was the second person there. So, and Jack and Kelly were close, so I'm sure she told him.
Yeah, and so would Jamal.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just for if Janet gets to the final three, she wins over anyone just because there's some people over there who respect her for that whole thing.
I agree.
That's why I say you have to get that. You have to get Janet and Elaine out.
I don't want it to happen, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple episodes here coming up that are going to be sad for us as far as Elaine and Janet.
I think it's going to be. I think the next eliminations will be Elaine and Dean.
Well,
Janet is right now on the majority, but I think.
I'm sorry.
You think they'll get rid of Dean before Janet?
Well, she's on. I don't. I think they keep Dean. I think Elaine's the target next week, but she can win immunity. The two strongest competitors right now are Elaine and Nora.
Nora, yeah.
So they have the best chance of winning immunity. So if Nora wins, I think it's Elaine goes home unless she finds an idol.
I was gonna say, we're still in the cycle of the idol goes back out again this week.
Right. Yes.
Mm-hmm. They better go hustle. And if Janet knows what's good for her, she better hustle for it too.
Yeah. Think blue. Think blue.
Think blue. No doubt. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. But she got to see her loved one. She was looking a little less busted biscuit. So
I still like
and I loved how she played. I don't know if she was actually playing dumb when Jeff said something to her. She was like, "What does that mean?"
I don't know what that means, Jeff.
I don't know what that means. I kind of like. I don't know if is it a game? Is she?
I think that's her. I think that she's just
personality.
Yeah.
She's not dumb.
No, she's not.
Maybe she doesn't. She's not, traditionally book smart or whatever. But I almost wonder. Oh, she's so sly. Is she playing dumb a little bit
to make it maybe seem like because she because they've never given her credit. None of the contestants give her credit for being smart, and what we've seen, she's smart. She knows what's going on. We said this 100 times. She knows what's going on. She blew it yesterday. She blew it yesterday, but I don't know if she really had a choice once everything blew up in her face with Dean and Nora. But
she's good at reading people. She pays attention to everything and everyone. So, yeah.
At that point, also during the eviction ceremony, was there any
eviction?
What?
Eviction ceremony.
Whatever. Yeah. Eviction. Yeah.
When they have their visitation rights.
Right. Right.
Did you say you said eviction? Didn't you?
Yes.
That's why I was just joking.
All right. At the end of Survivor,
when they got snuffed out
at Tribal, when they were all running towards the mat, do you think Was there any reason for? I mean, we know the outcome, obviously, but prior to the voting, was there any reason Elaine should have, even if she wasn't going to play it for somebody else? At that point, after everything that went on, do you think it was like a bad move for her to play her idol?
No,
You think there was a chance that she was still at risk?
because you don't know. You don't.
Well, it depends on what Nora had told them.
Yeah.
Because Nora wasn't being honest with them. I think Nora was going to go with them until Dean blew it up.
Yeah,
Right?
I think so too. Because Karishma said 10 minutes before we went on there, you were all in.
Yep.
Because then she blew up because Nora said, and Elaine has an idol. So pretty much she didn't have a choice. I mean, at this point, she's going to like, I gotta play the idol.
Well, once they outed her, though, unless they're going to try to push it out.
Say, okay, she has an idol. Let's. But I guess I would. Who knows? At this point,
moment, no, she probably didn't have to play it because at that moment they know she has it, but they don't have time to all say, okay, we're going to split. And, Elaine, you better play that idol because we're going to vote for you. And then split it so that if she plays it, they can still vote for someone else. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know. She probably, if she would have had a little more time to think about it, would have gone, no, they think they're not going to vote for me because they don't want our votes to be more than their votes.
True, but you don't want to go home. The worst thing is going home with an idol.
Right.
For sure.
This late in the game, I don't think I can live with myself. If I go home, I go home. But if I go home and I'm like, God, I had an idol, I could have stayed in the game. It's like Kelly had 2. So it's like, I get it, because then she could have had her idol next week where they don't have the numbers.
Well, then she would have had to play it because they would have definitely been splitting it for her to make sure she would play it.
But, it was Karishma for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, she could have been thinking that too, whereas, okay, I'm going to roll the dice, but she's still in the game, so she still has a chance. Plus, she's good in the challenges, so.
Yeah. Okay, then fingers crossed that she wins next week's challenge.
Right. If not, then it was stupid to play your idol because you had one.
Right? And let's hope she gets out there and she starts crawling around in trees or whatever, and she gets.
I'm sure she's first thing she's going to
do.
Yeah.
She's not going to. But so if she won the personal immunity, right, the immunity challenge, and had an idol, she sure ain't giving that idol to Dean, is she?
No. Dean, you're gone.
Sure. Save yourself tonight. We're voting for them.
You're toast, Dean. Dean the Weasel. Pretty boy Dean the Weasel.
So will she go back with Nora? God, she's kind of a woman, a lone island unto herself now, isn't she?
Yeah.
Poor Elaine. Oh, well.
The only other thing I was going to throw, I wrote this down, is I kind of wish with the loved ones being there that somehow the loved ones got worked into the experience of going over to Island of Idols.
Oh.
And then maybe
it's been a couple weeks we haven't been there, right?
I'm sorry?
It's been a couple episodes we haven't been over there, right?
Maybe they should. Maybe that's where they should have had the reward at. Is that what you're saying?
That'd have been fun.
I think it would have been cool to maybe see them go over there, and whatever the challenge is, if you win it, your loved one gets to pick the vote or something. I don't know. Your loved one, I don't know, joins the game.
Is that Island of Idols? Is that a done deal? Is that it must be finished? Like this week we didn't get anything, last week we didn't get anything.
I would think at this point it's done.
Then show us some. Then have them come out and tell everybody. Then what's the point?
Well, I think it's a big surprise. Where I think at the end, I think they're going to be on the jury. I think I think together they get 1 vote.
I think that'd be great, actually,
because they're at every tribal, so they know what's going on.
Yeah. Yep, they're fun. You know what? What happens if one of them ends up taking over Jeff's spot?
Colleen just mentioned that.
Great minds.
So the Boston Rob would be perfect.
I think so too.
Or actually, both of them together working it would be perfect.
Or swap them out for different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tag team them. That would be fine too. But
they'd be brutally honest during the challenges.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff's pretty good at it, but I think that they would be just.
Rob would just be kind of like poking fun and laughing at people.
Yeah.
No,
Sandra, super like, you are not good at this.
You're terrible. Why are you even here?
You are not gonna win.
Anyway. MC 954 concert 22.
22.
What a pointless theme Island of the Idols was. I think at the end maybe it was, but at the beginning I like I like the fact that it's Boston Rob and Sandra. At first I didn't think I'd like it. I think they've made it interesting.
Right? They're fun. They're way more fun together than I thought they'd be.
Well, you have to at least see his shack he's building, his house. Right? We haven't seen that.
Well, she hurt herself, so then I don't know if they're over there still working on it. Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's Miami Mike.
I thought they did a good job with that theme at the beginning. I think it just gets to that point where it stops rolling. Do you know what I mean? It's
Right.
kind of
Yeah. Well, some of the rewards were stupid, like the one for Janet, the one where the guy had to sneak in and get the fire.
That was so good. That was so good.
But it's like some of the rewards were like, okay, this is not even worth me doing it. It's a punishment.
I
Like when Jamal went over there and he got nothing because he picked the wrong.
that was the worst.
I was like, come on.
True. But the idea that you have this opportunity, and if you choose well, then you're going to choose, but you could choose poorly, and that's interesting. Instead of just being handed rewards, things that help you. Sometimes
Right.
things are. That's real life, right? You make choices.
It was Miami Mike. Get a smaller name, Mike. Too many letters. Jeez.
Oh, the 954. Got it.
Anyway, I think that I'm glad you joined us, Mike. Now we're leaving.
Yeah.
Anything else?
954 is not Miami. 954 is Broward County. So I don't know. I think it's false advertising down there.
How do you know that? Are you from Miami?
I lived there for 22 years.
Oh, okay. I just kept thinking. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But
I knew that.
you knew that? You knew that.
I know that now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Well, good show.
Yeah.
Great show, kids. 1 in a million. I'm just going to keep taking Matt's saying.
It's easily stealable.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. It's good.
He gets mad. I like doing it.
I like the Arrivederci. That's a good one too.
Arrivederci.
It's a good
I think
one.
it's what Dell used to say, or
Oh yeah.
something like that.
Oh, Dale, have him back.
We've asked him back. It just because someone on Facebook asked me say hello to. I go, I haven't seen him in like 6 months.
Wedded bliss.
Yeah.
I don't even remember him joining us last May in Raleigh.
No, he didn't.
So,
You're right, Mike. You're right. You have to try and explain people. Yeah, I lived in Broward County actually, and people would say, "Where are you from?" And I'd say, "I live in Miramar," and they'd go, "Where?" Miami. Just go with it. It's fine.
Hey, Miramar's in San Diego.
Miramar Beach is in San Diego, but there is a Miramar, Florida.
No, there's no Miramar Beach. It's Miramar. It's where have you ever seen Top Gun?
Yeah, right. Yeah. My mom got very excited when she found out we were moving to Miramar. I'm like, yeah, wrong coast. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
I can't believe I'm giving this. Giving you a shot. You're going to Miramar. God damn it, Maverick.
It's pretty impressive. So
Chris, did you ever go to High Lie when you were in Florida?
I have this vague memory that I did, but we might have been drinking that night. I don't remember very much more after that. But I knew Dania Beach one, right? Yep.
Love Dania Beach High Lie.
Yeah. We did go there. I don't remember much of it.
I've only been to Jacksonville and to Orlando for Disney World. In Jacksonville, I went to a San Diego Charger Jacksonville Jaguar game.
South Florida is as different to Jacksonville as probably San Diego is to like Northern California. It's way different, like one end to the other. Yeah. So it's a different sort.
Well, in Jacksonville, there was a lot of things that were closed. I mean, there was a lot of storefronts that were shut down.
Some blight.
It just shocked me because I thought, God, you just had the Super Bowl here a few years ago. I thought there would be.
Yeah. We went, I think in all the years we were there, I think one weekend we decided to go up there. Like, let's just get out of town. We'll drive up Jacksonville. It's not that short. It's not that short of a drive. But we decided to do it. And yeah, I think nothing against Jacksonville. We did not know anybody there. So we did not have a tour or anything. Nobody told us anything. And we were disappointed. We could not find the fun. So fun was not.
I thought it was fun watching the game there. It was fun. Good place to watch a game. They're pretty laid back.
Mike, I was just there in September, Mike. I went to Dania. Talking about highlights.
Is that a yogurt?
Highlight? It's a beer.
No, Dania, Danica, whatever it is.
Dania Beach.
Anyway.
Good times. All right, guys.
Well, thanks for joining us, Miami Mike, and extending the podcast another 20 minutes. Talking about Florida. All right, guys, if you like what we're doing, subscribe, thumbs up, and we'll be back next week. There's only 2 more weeks left.
Same bat channel.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Of course, all the kids out there are going, I don't know what that means.
We can educate them. It's fine.
Yeah.
I've never heard Michael Keaton say that.
I'm Batman. All right, guys. Bye.